Your reasons for listening to the show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuddle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen.
Get ready for your daily dose of Tuddle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuddle. Tuddle in Florida.
From the Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tuddle. If you haven't already subscribed, do that now, and make sure you hit that bell button, because when you hit that bell button, you're going to get alerted to any time I go live or I upload any brand new content. Going to be doing a live stream tonight. I don't know if you guys got a chance to catch Coffee Talk with Tuddle on Sunday morning. I'm going to be doing that every Sunday at 9 from now on. So got plenty of great content planned for that. I was debating on if I was going to bring this up or not. I wanted to let it kind of stew a couple of days, because I have wanted to play nice with everybody. I wanted to be friends with everybody, because I'm known as the guy that has just burned every bridge in radio. And I've made up with most of the radio hosts. I think Mike Calta's the only one. I thought I was cool with Manson and Trace and the whole Waters clan at Clusterfuck. I ended up Friday night. I saw that they were doing a bar show. I was like, oh, I'll check it out. I haven't checked out the show in a while. Not that I don't like the content that they're putting out. I mean, they're putting out a really, really great product. But I was checking it out, and then I saw that the chat was for subscribers only, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw them a subscription. And as soon as they saw that, oh boy, the comments came around. I think Manson made the comment of, I guess old Todd is wanting some more information. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory, because somebody's a little paranoid, in my opinion, because Manson Mike Waters, believes that Bubba the Love Sponge, was paying me under the table to talk shit about Seth Kush. I don't even know where that would come from, but sign me up for that gig all day long if it was offered. But guess what? I've been ostracized by the whole BRN. I can't even be on the terrestrial show anymore. So, yeah, I think you might be a little paranoid. I'm just saying. And then Trace made a backhanded comment. He said something about listening to 3 of my shows, and 1 was good, the other 2 sucked. I mean, I get it. Listen, I do have some bad shows, but I got to tell you the truth. It's kind of hard doing this all by yourself. It really, really is. Like, I know that I have guests on. I have Charlie Alamo on sometimes. I have Serak on sometimes. But for the most part, it is just me doing a show, commenting on the news, talking about stuff in my personal life. And I just think that it was kind of shitty, kind of a shitty thing for them to say. Hell, I threw you a subscription for $1.99. I know it's not a lot, but, you know, like, for you to make the comment that, oh, I guess old Todd wants some more information. No, I could have watched the show without being in the chat. I just wanted to come in and say hi, see how you guys are doing. And then I really do think that they are pissed because I haven't done their show yet. And this is all back to me not wanting to burn bridges, me wanting to get along with everybody in radio. And the reason that I do that now, because I talked to Ron Bennington. Ron Bennington told me, I mean, he's the guy that I started out in radio with. He told me, he's like, dude, it does you no good in your career to have enemies in the business. So I wanted to make up. I made up with Russ Rollins. I've made up with everybody. And I just don't want to get involved in talking crap about my former employee, Bubba the Love Sponge, even though I think it's kind of effed up what's been done to me. I don't know why I'm not allowed on the terrestrial show anymore. I've offered to do like exclusive stuff for Bubba Army Radio. So like I said, you're being a little paranoid, Manson. And I'm sure that, there'll be a parody song written about me trying to kill myself or me being an alcoholic or something. Because Manson is very, very talented when it comes to the parody songs. Hell, the guy's funny as hell. He's great at doing voices, yada, yada, yada. So I have nothing bad to say about Manson at all. I just thought it was kind of a crappy thing to say, that the only reason I came on is because I'm trying to get info for Bubba Clem. I haven't gotten paid by Bubba Clem and, hell, the end of 2019 when I was fired. And then Trace, man, buddy, I would love to see Trace do a show by himself. And I know a lot of people, they're going to say, oh, well, you edit the show, you don't do it live, all that. I mean, I'll do an hour on YouTube tonight. I'll do it. Might not be the greatest, but like I said, this podcast has made me a better broadcaster, and being able to talk. Yes, I still mess up a lot, but I do also keep a lot of the mistakes in. So if I'm editing the hell out of my show, then why would I keep all the mistakes in and stuff? I do it because I want to prove that I'm not over editing the show that I do. So how about that, Trace? I would like to hear you do an hour show all by yourself. Not any of your stoner-ass buddies, drunk-ass friends, and stuff like that. I mean, I love Trace to death. He's a great guy, but, man, he can be a real dick sometimes. And I just thought it was a really backhanded comment when I was just trying to be nice. But, oh well. I mean, you can't please everybody. I know that I'm probably going to get a lot of blowback from this. They're going to talk about it. They're probably going to, drag my dick in the dirt and stuff. But that's fine. Like, I really don't care. Like I said, I love the whole Waters clan. I love what they're doing. I think it's great. They got a great studio. They got great equipment, great microphones, great video cameras. You know what I got? I do my whole show on my iPhone 12. I record it. I pull all the audio and stuff that I comment on. I do everything on my iPhone. So, yeah, I think that I'm doing what you're doing pretty much with one arm tied behind my back. And that's all I'm going to say on this whole deal. One of the first stories I want to get into, and I really think that we're going a little overboard on the political correctness type stuff, because everybody's making a big deal about how a colored fake baby, a baby doll, I should have reworded that a little bit different. Here, see, that's proof that I don't edit the show or over-edit the show. I leave mistakes in all the time. But everybody's freaking out about what happened to this black baby doll at a football game.
During Friday night's football jamboree here at Salinas High, students were seen passing the doll around and some even stomping on it.
Could you get any closer to the road? Like, seriously, is she even got a mic screen on her microphone to be able to block out some of the wind noise? It just sounds like she's standing out right next to I-4 in downtown Orlando, and you can barely even hear her. There's got to be some little podunk station that's like fourth out of all the big affiliates in this area. And I wonder if this has any relation to the story that I played last week about the African-American cheerleaders having the monkey noises and stuff like that thrown at their direction. I can't tell if this is related at all.
Now parents are expressing outrage because they claim some of the photos and videos show staff involved in this racist controversy. Videos and Instagram posts began circulating over the weekend depicting Salinas High students posing with a black baby doll they named Shaniqua on this now deactivated Instagram account.
And by the way, this is not a white baby doll that they painted black or in blackface or anything like that. They didn't give it the over-the-top features that you would think like a minstrel-type show would have. No, this is the stereotypical, ordinary black baby doll that you could get from any store. And when you listen to this story, you're going to act like they had a real, alive baby that they were just, taking advantage of, taking pictures of. And I just, look, I mean, I can see where people would be offended, but why is this even a news story? The only reason I'm playing this is just to point out the hypocrisy, the ridiculousness of this whole thing. Why is this even news? Because they really, really are treating this like it is a real baby.
The posts on the account have left many residents shocked, calling the images disturbing and racist. One parent reached out to us saying a photo of her son with the doll was seen on TikTok, but she says her son was only at high for ROP classes when a girl approached him with the doll.
Now, before you hear what this mother says, now, I mean, she could be making this all up. You know, I know for a fact that if I had children and they were getting some blowback on this whole deal, yeah, I would come up with the story that she's about to talk about. But I can also probably guarantee you this is a kid that probably hasn't had a girl show him much attention at all. And I'm telling you right now, like, if somebody just came up and said, hey, can you hold this black baby doll? Can you take a picture? I'd be like, nope, no way. Not falling into that trap. But, of course, if you've never had a lot of girls show you attention and they come up and ask you to do something, you're going to be like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, maybe this is an icebreaker. Maybe this is a way to be able to meet a hot chick, even if she isn't hot. Because when you're young and stuff, and you really don't get much attention from women or girls or teenage girls, you are going to go for anything. Your standards are tremendously low when it comes to ladies. You'll take whatever the F you can get.
She had told him that it will be helping her out as a project, so he just wanted to help her out. It broke my heart because seeing my kid that way.
By the way, I did the best that I could to be able to clean up this audio, but god damn. I mean, this might be one of the worst audio news stories that I've ever played in my life. What is up with the hum? You can hear a motorcycle in the background. I mean, dude, at least try to be a little bit professional. And I just, the only reason I'm bringing this up is I don't want you to think that I'm getting lazy or I'm not going through and editing the audio that I play and stuff or try to clean it up. I did the best that I could on this. It's just horrible sound quality.
And for someone to take advantage of his innocence, not knowing him, and to post that without even his consent.
Well, for one, they don't need consent. Because if a woman comes up to you and says, hey, can I take a picture of you with a baby doll? And then you agree to do with it, she owns that photo now. Like, she took the picture. And I'm not trying to make a correlation or a connection of racism here. Do you remember that story? It was one of the most ridiculous stories out there. Do you remember that macaque monkey that ended up stealing a dude's camera and ended up taking a selfie of himself by accident? Well, somebody ended up suing, saying, and the judge ruled whoever takes the picture is the owner of the picture. So if you agree to take a picture holding a black baby doll, then yeah, you really don't have a fight in this whole game. You don't. They're going to tell you to pound sand if you try to take this to court.
Now, she says she's concerned how the pictures could affect her son's future. Parents say the students shouldn't be the only ones held accountable. This North High parent's son was at the football jamboree Friday night.
In some of the videos, there's faculty and teachers taking pictures and videos with the doll. There was one that I just got recently that the teacher was holding the doll on the goalpost.
You know, last night I ended up watching the first episode of this documentary on National Geographic. It's 1 Day in America. And if you have not watched it yet, do yourself a favor. And it's about 9/11 because the 20th year anniversary is about to come up. And it is one of the greatest documentaries that I've ever seen. I don't want you to think that it's a documentary where they're just showing you gore and all the planes hitting over and over and over again. No, it tells you a lot of the stories of the people that were in the building, the firefighters and stuff. Waiting, episode 2 comes out tonight. That's on Nat Geo. But after 9/11, do you remember how everybody came together? Do you remember how Everybody was polite. They would open up doors. They weren't just complete dicks to each other. What happened to that now? Because everybody is just looking for a reason to be offended. And this guy's offended that this guy had a black baby doll next to a goalpost or hanging from a goalpost. I really don't know because they didn't show any of the pictures. But I just don't get it. It is an object that is not alive. It is something that you can buy from the store. And it's not, it plain and simple, it's not alive. I don't understand why people are making such a big deal about this whole situation. People are just looking to be offended.
So it's just, it's infuriating. It's a lack of teaching. The parents aren't doing their job. The teachers aren't doing their job.
All right, quick question. I want to ask you guys, would this be different if it was a white baby doll or a Spanish baby doll or an Asian baby doll? Like, I mean, if they're taking pictures with a white baby doll or a baby doll from the goalpost, are people going to be outraged? I'm just being serious. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not trying to be one of those people that says all lives matter, not just Black Lives Matter. I'm being serious. Once again, like I said, everybody is just looking for reason to be offended, and that's where we're at. Because, like I said, after 9/11, the whole country was all about, never forget, help out your fellow Americans, look out for each other and stuff. And now everybody is just looking for a reason to be offended.
While people we spoke to say teaching students to be racially sensitive starts at home, they believe the school district needs to do more to teach students about the history of their actions. But students we spoke to don't think the incident should reflect on the entire school.
I mean, what they did, what the doll is symbolizing is a little bit of racism, but I don't feel like as a whole school we're racist. In general, like I feel like we're pretty good with that situation.
I love to get interactions from you guys because I cannot take phone calls, but I want to hear from you. There's two ways you can do that. You can send me an email, Tuddle@gmail.com. That's Tuddle with 2 D's, TUDDLE@gmail.com. Or you can leave me a voicemail, 407-270-3044. Especially if you are any African-American supporters of the Tuddle Daily Podcast, I would like to hear from you. Does this offend you? Would it have made a difference if it was a white baby doll or any other race that was a baby doll? Because everybody's making it act like, can you even be racist towards inanimate objects, is what I'm trying to say. Because I've not heard anything remotely racist when it comes to this whole story.
We reached out to the Salinas High principal, but she did not want to give any comment today. But we are told that a meeting with the principal and the NAACP is happening today behind closed doors. In Salinas, Lisa Krinsky, Carolyn News Channel 546.
I gotta tell you, the program director needs to be fired. The cameraman needs to be fired. The producer needs to be fired. Because, did you hear, why is her mic so bad? And why would you decide to stand right next to one of the busiest streets in whatever town that you're living in right now? Because when you were interviewing people, their audio sound perfectly fine, and yours just absolutely sounded like hot fucking garbage, in my opinion. Gonna take a quick break. When I come back, I'm gonna have my good friend Serak on, and we're gonna have a great discussion of why he stood me up on Sunday to record. Be back in a few minutes. You are listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
Great news, folks. You now have the chance to see the face in front of that sexy voice. Right you are, sir. The Tuddle Daily Podcast streams Monday to Friday on YouTube. Anything can happen at the Hobo Fish Camp. Okay, sir. That's enough. Okay, so go to youtube.com/Tuddle. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you're notified anytime Tuddle goes live. Good job, sir.
If you're in the market to buy or sell a home in Volusia, Brevard, or Flagler counties, you need to reach out to Ian Hanna at ianhannahomes.com. On his site, you can learn more about Ian's use of premium photography and aggressive marketing to sell your home quickly and painlessly. So if you're a first-time buyer and not sure where to start, connect with Ian at ianhannahomes.com.
Questions? Comments? Concerns? Compliments? Or do you just want to tell Tuddle to fuck off? In any event, contact Tuddle. Tuddle@gmail.com. It's, Tuddle with 2 Ds, dumbass.
Welcome back to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Once again, finally, because a whole weekend of drinking stopped them from originally
it was
recording
fantasy football.
Yeah, and about that, where was my invite?
Well, see, the thing is, it's
you take me as a nerd, and you don't think I know
no,
about.
No. I know you know
about
sports. Listen,
it's because
I
I'm
know
white.
you're the competition.
I'm white.
I can't invite a guy that is probably going to beat me. That's what it was.
No, it's because I'm white.
No, they're all white. I'm the only black guy in this group. I'm like Token in South Park.
No,
not intentionally, though.
Listen, I'm a Caucasian. I did not say that. That was my African American friend Serak that said Token.
You believe
I did not
how much
say that at all.
You believe how much South Park got away, gets away with? I guess.
Well, I mean, but when you set a precedent of what you are all about, they can get away with it. You know what you're getting with South Park, right?
Yeah, but they never even get even when they get really close to crossing the line on a few other topics or whatever, they don't get any scrutiny.
Dude, I remember everybody made a big deal about. Remember the episode they did with the curse words, and they said over 150 curse words in one show, and that big demon dragon came out or whatever
he is, Satan.
I mean,
demon
the South
dragon.
Park movie. The South Park movie was really, really great, and the Canadians must be completely pissed off at
Terrence and Phillip.
Yeah,
Oh,
because why do all the Canadians have heads that just go back and forth? They're not even connected to their jaws.
Yeah, they were 75% completed. They just pasted them on there.
Yeah, but so your weekend, how was your fantasy draft?
Oh man, I would say this. I was in 8th place. Oh, I was the 8th pick, and it's a 12-team league. We do a snake draft, and my first pick, which some people kind of gave me the thumbs down on, but I went with Ezekiel Elliott. I think after watching Hard Knocks that he'll play well this year.
I mean, he's a great running back. I mean, he is. I really do think he is a great running back. I mean, he's built like a shit brick house.
Yeah, and he's kind of weird. He has that weird aspect too, kind of like Marshawn Lynch, where he has the nose piercing and always has his belly out or something like that. Yeah, I mean, you got to go with Zeke. But I did take a chance with the kid from Clemson, Trevor Lawrence.
Let me ask you something. Speaking about the Dallas Cowboys, do you think Emmitt Smith is the greatest running back of all time?
No.
No,
you got to give that to Barry Sanders.
Yeah, Barry, for sure. Because I think Emmitt was so good. In the 90s, now, if you're not over 300 pounds, you're not an offensive lineman.
No.
Back in the 90s when he was playing, that whole center, guard, tackles, they were all over 300 pounds.
Right.
And they were beasts.
Right.
Barry, I can only imagine how many yards Barry would have had running behind that offensive line.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like he was good because he was with the Lions. How certain pieces just fit regardless of how bad or good the team is.
Well, that's did you see this kid in the Little League World Series?
Oh,
the
with the no-hitter.
He had? No, dude, he threw 4 no-hitters in the goddamn World Series.
It's the Little League World Series. I mean, it's
but
good. It's a great feat, obviously. And
he had 113 strikeouts, 1 hit, 0
because
earned
you're
runs.
a pitcher, so you obviously got to favor him. I just don't think it's that impressive.
Well,
and a bunch of 5-year-olds.
Well, no, it's 11 and 12-year-olds, but you're still playing on the same level. What I'm trying to say is, though, when I see those type of numbers, I'm automatically, is it wrong of me to say, check that kid's birth certificate? No, I'm
Wait,
being dead serious.
was he white? Was he a little white kid?
Yeah, white kid. But do you remember like the documentary that Danny Almonte kid? You might have been too young to remember this, but they played for a Brooklyn team up there, and the kid ended up being 14.
Oh, wait, how long ago was this?
Well, okay, so the team that they ended up in the championship, the American championship game, was a team from Apopka, Florida, where Warren Sapp's.
Right.
And this kid was just mowing everybody down. But
he was 2 years older than everyone else.
He was 14 pitching against 12-year-olds.
Like he just hit puberty. And he just tear these kids up.
And come to find out that his birth certificate was forged by his father.
Did he even look like he was 12 though?
Yeah, he kind of did. Well, I mean, he looked really, really tall.
Like he was just holding back on purpose. Some games.
Yeah. But that was really, really interesting. But the thing is that these kids that do really, really well on like the World Series and stuff, they really never pan out though. They just you never see them in the majors.
Besides, like soccer's probably the only sport I can really think of that you can kind of farm them.
They have youth academies, which is smart. What they do is they sign these kids at a very young age. They have these academies where they go to school, they do soccer, and they just train, and they get all their schooling there. They get fed, they get housed. So
that must be amazing. I mean, when did they recruit these kids? Like at 5 years old?
Like, yeah, dude, some of them have been as early as like 11 or 12.
That's insane that you can like just point out that talent like at that young,
Well, I know you don't know much about soccer, but
I love soccer.
Did you see Ronaldo signed
Man U
with Man U? Now,
what a punk!
What do you mean, punk?
I don't know, man. He should have went to what was the other team?
Not Man City.
Man
City.
City.
Not say no.
Why not?
No, that's the bitter rivals. Like that's okay. Manchester is not a big city in England, or so like literally. You have Old Trafford, where Manchester United play at.
Okay.
And right across the river is Etihad Stadium, where Manchester City play. That's how close the two teams are. Like,
okay,
for
so
real.
It's like a Giants and Jets thing.
Yes. I mean, but you're not playing in the same stadium, though. I've always thought that's kind of weird, by the way.
Who used to do that in the NBA? The Lakers and Clippers still do that, right?
Yeah, Lakers, Clippers played in the same. Yeah. And then I always thought it used to be ghetto as hell when baseball teams and football teams would share the same stadium. Like like
Oakland.
Well, Oakland is the only team still left that has. Well, no, the Raiders moved to Vegas. So so now nobody, because for a while there, when the Marlins played in Miami, they were playing at the Dolphin Stadium, and just to have a clay infield baseball on the field.
I remember I used to see that, and I used to be like, "What the fuck?" Like, I feel like that team has enough money to at least cover, at least put something green over it. Yeah,
it was so weird, man. But Ronaldo goes there, and everybody's like calling him out. Why would you take him? He started out at Manchester United. He became famous at Manchester United.
The whole leave and come back. Come on, man. That's like LeBron.
Well, no, that's exactly what they're comparing it to. They're also saying they're calling it the last dance, like Michael Jordan thing.
God. How old is Ronaldo? 35?
37, but I got to tell you, can you look up a picture real quick? Ronaldo, what Ronaldo looks like right now, and tell me, like he's like Tom Brady, but because Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in his 40s. But Ronaldo is just like 0% body fat, by the way.
Oh, yeah, this kid is. Damn, this dude is not 37. He looks like he's 25.
No, he's in his late 30s.
There's a picture of him. I think I've seen a comparison, though. They had like a picture of him in like his rookie year, something like that.
And he was real skinny.
Yeah, and then he just got fucking. I mean, that's world-class training right there.
Exactly. And did you see how he got in? Well, he didn't get in trouble, but during the European Championships.
Oh, with the Coke bottle?
The Coca-Cola. Yeah, he was like, drink more water. And he just kept throwing the Coke bottles off the
And their
off the
stock
table.
just takes immediately. Like, come on.
Yeah, but on the opposite side, the Glazer family, the same family that owns the Bucks, the Manchester United is traded on the NASDAQ or, the stock market here in the United States. How much money do you think that they made in 24 hours once they signed Ronaldo?
Oh, man, I'm going to guess, I don't know, 100 million?
$228 million.
That's insane. That is just like the I mean, I know what he brings. Okay, so I was arguing about this with someone else the other day, but like, it's just insane how like when Tom Brady, for instance, comes to Tampa, or Ronaldo goes to Man U, it's like it brings the city so much money. It changes the whole aspect of everything, because of one person that is just good at soccer.
But everybody doubted Tom Brady, and you know what? The people that are just natural competitors, like Michael Jordan, never did you like? I've heard a lot of stories about Michael Jordan competed at everything, and he would also cheat sometimes.
Yeah, he seems like that type of guy. Or like he won't let you leave unless he beats you.
Yeah, well, okay. For example, I saw this story. They would do these like setup where they would have bulls like on the jumbotron, and it would be like they would have a couple people, fans. They would have to pick what bull would win the race, like they would run. Well, Jordan would already be out there in pregame shooting, and when they were doing the test run of the bulls running, he would already know who would win, and he would bet Rodman and Pippen every game. And he would already know what bull was going to win. I think he took like 20 grand off of them for like the season.
You know what's funny though is like I guarantee like in their position they have no way out. Like like if you beat him, he's going to keep like rebetting and rebetting and rebetting. Like I would kind of hate to be Michael Jordan's teammate. I feel like he's a dick. And he'd be like, I don't know, I wouldn't hang out with him. I mean, I would now, obviously.
Have you ever seen like the guy that was talking trash? They were down. The Bulls were down by like 13 in the fourth quarter. And the guy was just jawing Jordan. Like, and the other teammate on the other team was like, dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I think Jordan dropped 20 points in the last 10 minutes, and they ended up coming back and winning it.
Isn't that strange though? Like you can't, as a defender, like there's literally nothing you can do. Like besides breaking the rules.
When he came back and perfected his turnaround jumper, there was no defending it. It was impossible.
Oh my God. I was
Kobe was the same way when he perfected his turnaround.
I was watching this I know we've had this debate a gazillion times, who would be better, today's NBA or back in the 90s. And the big argument is the whole like hand checking rule, whatever. Well, I was watching this guy on YouTube. He does like a lot of stats for random generations of basketball, and he was saying that it's harder. The hand check rule was in effect since like 1960 something. They just didn't really enforce it up until now. And he was saying that when comparing like you would think that with the hand check rule gone or in place, excuse me, that
I already know where you're going with
this, would score more.
You knew what direction to go because you could feel the pressure. Like, like if you felt more pressure on your left side, you knew to go right or whatever.
No. He was saying that given the fact that apparently defense like the offensive player has, obviously the advantage that in today's NBA, they should be scoring more points, but it's actually the opposite. It was easier to score in the 90s than it is to score now. And also the whole illegal defense thing was huge as well, because now you have to, a player can be in the middle of the paint and kind of prevent any isolation type situation.
You're talking about the 3-second rule inside the paint, right? I mean, you couldn't be in there for playing on defense.
No, the illegal defense. That was different, right?
No, I mean, I know, like I still think it's a rule. Like you if you're playing defense, you can't be inside the paint.
Right, you can't be inside the paint, but illegal defense, you couldn't be. You had to be on someone, like guarding somebody.
Oh, see, I don't even know that. See? Listen, I've had my heart broken twice by the Orlando Magic, and I stopped. one of the questions I wanted to ask, have you ever in your life worked a manual labor job?
Yeah.
Like what? Like I'm talking about having to do physical hard
Oh,
labor.
man, in high school, I pushed carts. That fucking sucked. In Michigan, in the wintertime.
Push carts? What do you mean by push carts?
Yeah, like when I was in high school, at the grocery store, you collect carts that people were too lazy to put in the, in the parking lot.
I thought it was crazy as hell the first time I went to New Jersey when I was married, that you would have to put a quarter in the cart to be able to get it out, and to be able to get your quarter back, you had to return it.
Look at cheap bastards. Like, really? Like, what did you expect me to do if I didn't have a quarter? Just carry like all my groceries in my hands?
Well, have you ever been to the ghetto ass stores like Aldi or like any of these other ones? Like you got to bring your own bags and stuff. I don't even think they give you bags.
Well, a lot of companies are starting to do that now, though. The whole, save the environment situation going on. Like they're all going either biodegradable or you can bring your own bag.
And you know what pisses me off more than anything?
What?
Is the old guy in line that wants paper bags but double bagged, and he sits there and tells you what he wants in what bag, and it takes forever.
I know.
And also another thing that pisses me off, if you're in the express lane, if you're even one item over, I'm gonna call you out.
Exactly.
No, I will. I will call you the fuck out if you have more than 10 items.
That's the worst. But like people do that all the time at Publix. But Publix, they're too nice. They would never
let me ask you.
You could probably steal something from Publix and they'd walk you out and help you to your car.
Let me ask you though. Now, say you have 2 of the same items. Are those 2 items, or is that 1 item?
Wait, if I have 2 of the same items.
Yeah. So say I got 2 cans of canned peaches or something.
Okay.
Same brand, same thing. Does that count as 1 item, or are they 2 separate items?
It's 2 separate items. Because it's not about the time.
Well, it says 10 items or less. They're both the same item.
Excuse me. It's not about the weight. It's about the time, though. Because if you have 11 items, that's taking a little bit longer than just having 1 can of peach.
But when you say items, it's the same item. You see what I'm saying? You need to say.
Yeah, they probably kick you out for that shit.
But I'm just saying that. I mean, it's worded incorrectly.
Yeah, but who, like, besides you, I've never seen somebody enforce that.
I used to pull out my camera. I used to pull out my camera and shame them and record them.
There's a overweight lady with 2 babies and 3 kids crying and acting a fool, and she has 12 items and a 10 item line. You gonna say something?
Yes. I'd be like, bitch, you need to start learning contraceptive. You need to start wearing condoms. You're teaching your kids how to cheat the system.
Cheat the system. But what if they were all just cans of peaches, though? And she was like, but this is just 1 item.
I'd be like, are they babies? Because if you're feeding your kids nothing but peaches, you're going through a lot of diapers, because I'm sure they're going to be diarrhea.
That's what I fear. That's my biggest thing about having children is having to change diapers. Oh my God. I want to adopt just to avoid that part.
Do you know that the first poop that a baby has is, they say it is the most disgusting thing you'll ever see and smell? I forget it. They call it a certain thing, but it is
the first poop.
It's like motor oil, and it is the stinkiest stuff that
because before that you didn't, you weren't really, you couldn't do it.
Yeah, you're not pooping in the uterus. I mean, how bad would that be if the baby pooped inside the uterus?
That would be terrible. That would, she'd probably die, or the baby would die.
That'd be a urinary tract infection all day long. I mean, I'm just saying.
Could you imagine though? Like that must be the greatest shit you ever have. I mean, obviously you don't remember, but imagine like when you get that, holding it in all day type feeling, or early morning feeling. Now imagine that 10 times better. It has to be that way.
Have you ever accidentally pooped your pants?
I actually almost did once, and it was recently. And I was surprised. I was like, whoa. I thought that was just kind of like shit people say. I didn't know it can actually happen. It was close.
When you get older, you start appreciating your bowel movements more. Yeah. You really do.
Yeah.
I'm being dead serious. Like if you get a clean one where like you're not even gonna have to wipe, you're like, oh
Were you
man.
proud? You stand up,
Oh,
turn
you're
around,
so
and like
proud of
salute
it.
it.
Oh
Give
man,
it a
you feel
salute.
so good, man, after you take a good one. Like you feel like relieved, right?
Yeah, and you notice you always want to tell somebody too, right? Because it's a shared experience, not a shared experience, but we all know how it feels. I get on the game and I say, "Hey guys, I just took a beautiful shit," and like they're clapping for me. Like everybody's happy. Everybody's happy.
You've never lived the RV / fifth wheel trailer park living.
Oh yeah, how does
toilets
that
are
work
real
with toilets?
different. Well, okay, so you want to let the tank fill up as much as you can because a lot of people
Wait.
make
Now,
this
when you say
mistake.
tank, so it's just like
All right, you have a holding tank, okay,
that holds the shit.
that holds everything, okay,
Okay.
but then you're bringing water in there, okay. So you don't want to keep the opening because you have the tank and then you have a pipe that leads out of the tank into the sewage system that the park has set up, okay.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Okay, so a lot of people think that they should leave it open. That's not the case, okay? Because if you leave it open, what ends up happening is that the water is not mixing in with the poop itself, okay? So then what ends up happening is the poop is hardening on the side of the tank and all that stuff, and then you got a big problem on your hand. So you want to keep the tank closed and you want to dump it at the very last minute until it's full because you want to let gravity do its work. Because when you
Are they like
open up
sensors on the tank or something, or you just kind of have to like?
because have you ever filled up a bottle and you can hear that sound? Like you can hear
Oh,
how
when
it
you're getting
sounds
close?
when you're getting close to the top of something being filled. Then that's when you know. Okay, so what ends up happening is you want gravity to do the work. Okay,
Right.
You want that water to mix in with the poop and all that stuff. And you have to buy a special type of toilet paper as well, too. By the way, it's
that
not
must
any.
fucking suck. Is it at least comfy?
It is comfortable, but it dissolves.
Can you use wipes?
More.
Can you use wipes with a?
Oh yeah, but I never flush wipes. That's the worst thing you can do.
You don't
flush
flush them.
wipes.
You just wipe your butt and throw it in the toilet. I mean,
No,
throw it in the trash.
Yes.
That's disgusting. Because you got shit in the trash now.
No, you wipe first. You use the wipe. So you're saying you're using wet wipes right after you take a poop?
I do one and one. Like a
I do one. I do one. I do one wipe. Then I use the wet wipes with aloe. Do you use the ones with the aloe on them?
No, I don't need it.
Yeah, I do. Because I do have a hemorrhoid that if I ever wipe, it does leave some blood on the toilet paper every once in a while.
But then you just throw it all. I just leave it all in the toilet though. After that,
no, we have a trash can in the bathroom that I empty out at the end of every day. So it's not like we have poopy toilet paper or anything like that in the trash can overnight. I dump it every day.
Oh man, I don't know. If
so
it fits,
you want
if
the
it
gravity,
fits, it ships.
Okay. So what I'm trying to say though is that you want the gravity to, like, once you open up that valve, you want all that water and everything to get sucked out and go into the dump station. That's trailer living right there.
Can you like smell it? Is it like really?
No. They give you these little those Tide Pods that you use to do laundry with. Yeah, well, they sell those that you put in once you empty it and you close the valve. You put those in there, and it kind of gets rid of the smell. It keeps the smell down.
Yeah, that's a lot of work though. Shit, man. Like, I guess you really, like you said, you really don't appreciate it until.
Yeah, but guess what? Our rent's low.
That's true.
We don't have to take care of any of the maintenance. We ain't paying electricity. So
everybody knows each other.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So I mean, it's kind of like fancy glamping. Instead of camping, it's glamping.
Yeah, it's like a lot of little tents. It's like one big, I don't know, Parks and Rec excursion or something like that.
So the reason I was asking about manual labor jobs, okay? So we were supposed to record yesterday, and you were talking about being hungover.
I didn't say those exact words.
Well, you said you were, not feeling good from a weekend of drinking.
Okay, I didn't say those exact words,
You-
but yes,
What
something
did you say?
around those.
What did
Something
you
around
say?
that.
Didn't tell me what you said because I got the text. I can open up the text.
And I quote, "Oh man, I don't feel good. Let's record. I'm so sorry." And you said, "Don't worry, feel better." End quote.
Yeah, I was being nice. Because the reason I'm saying is that the reason I brought up manual labor jobs is that my dad worked a real man's job. He was an iron worker.
Okay.
He was an iron worker. Like, I mean, you want to be on top of your game when you're walking across beams about 5 stories high. And this is back in the day when you didn't wear safety harnesses and stuff.
Yeah, like what? That shit is terrifying. I would never, man. I don't understand.
But guess what? My mom always told them, look, if you wanna go out partying with the boys after work, I have no problem with it, but you're not gonna miss a day of work. I don't care how hungover you are. My mom would jump on the bed and she would annoy the F out of my dad until he would get up and go to work.
Or just leave guy in the car and went to sleep.
But no, he never did that because it was his own company.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
Okay. But what I'm saying though, I always thought that was really cool of my mom though, because a lot of ladies
that's how
would
it
not
is,
be
though.
down.
I mean, that's the money. That's the money coming in. You got to make sure you got to take care of your people.
Yeah, my mom had said, as long as you don't miss work and you ain't sleeping around, I don't care what you do.
That's a hell of a deal right there. Like I know a million guys who would take half that deal.
That's a pretty good deal though, right? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, for real. And my dad never did, but and you got to think, you iron working during the middle of the summer, when you're sweating. Oh my God! But you know what they would do at lunchtime, because there was a lot of iron workers. Yeah, they would. There were a lot of iron workers that had shaky hands early in the morning that could not weld a straight line for their life, because they were all alcoholics. And after lunch, man, they could weld a straight line better than anybody.
Yeah, you gotta be alcoholic to do that crazy shit.
Yeah, dude, man, iron working. I did that for a while, man. And
how long did you do it for?
Well, when I first started in radio, when I was only part time, this was my schedule. We get up at 3:30, be at the station by 4:30, and I would work until 11:30. That would give me 30 minutes to get changed because you got to wear blue jeans, boots. You got to have all your stuff ready because when I worked, you had to wear it was 100% tie off. Like you could not be 6 feet or higher without being tied off. You just couldn't be.
Wait, what do you mean?
If you were 6 feet or higher, you had to be harnessed.
Oh, okay. That's what I was like. You said tied off. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so I would do that so I would have enough time to eat, get lunch, and then from 12:30 until 6, I would be welding or laying decking, or screwing down decking or making bolts.
That shit is brutal. And then be back at the station at 4 the next morning?
Yeah, the next day. I did that 5 days a week for the longest time. And
did you learn anything from welding?
No.
I don't know how to do shit.
No. It teach me. Yeah, it teach me how to just be responsible. How to, even though how bad you are feeling, because it is brutal doing that stuff during the summertime, man. Because like when I talk about decking, the decking that they would lay on the roof is all reflective metal. It's silver. It's like aluminum. So there's no escaping it. The heat.
Don't you guys have a union?
No, union. There's no union. No unions in Florida. That's more of a northern thing.
I was about to say, but like you up there.
They would run you the fuck off the job site if you ever brought up union.
Threw you off the top of a beam.
Yeah. Dude, I did see a guy fall one time.
Was he drunk?
No. It was something really, really stupid. He forgot,
how high up was he?
6 stories.
I mean,
so a story is 10 feet. So you're saying 60 feet.
You could survive that. I mean, if you land,
you're still gonna be pretty messed up.
You'll be fucked up, but you'll live.
But because we always kept the water bucket up there, like a water jug that people could, fill up their cups and stuff with.
Uh-huh.
And he went back to get it, but he didn't tie off. And then when he grabbed the bucket, it kind of threw him off balance, and he went over on the beam. And when he landed on his shoulder and his head. And the thing is that, like, you can see bones and stuff sticking out, but you're in shock at that point. He tried to get up, but he couldn't.
This kind of reminds me of when Dak Prescott broke his ankle. It's like that initial reaction is just like the get up and go.
Yeah, because it was pretty nasty. And the other thing is, you could tell the guys that were on drugs.
Why?
Because I saw one guy almost
they would just
lose
go
a
home.
finger.
Just go
well,
home.
No. The first thing that happens is once you have an injury on OSHA certified job, you automatically have to take a piss test.
But what if like the accident is like your dick or something?
What I'm trying to say is that they want to make sure that because if workman's comp will not cover you if you have any drugs in your system, they will kick your ass out of the hospital.
Yeah, and blame that you failed because you smoked weed 2 months ago?
There was this one guy my dad picked up from the hospital because they kicked him out.
Kicked him out of the hospital?
Yeah, my dad had to go pick him up. And he was like, well, I was riding in a car with a bunch of guys that were smoking weed and stuff. And he was like, my dad was like, well, how do you explain testing positive for cocaine? He didn't have any answer for that. My dad did not fire him. They actually took care of him, but he did. The guy had already had, I remember one of the guys, he had only 2 fingers on one hand because a lot of guys.
How was he allowed to work with only 2 fingers on one hand?
Well,
isn't that a liability issue?
No, well, for one thing, everybody asked me why I never wore my wedding ring when I was married.
Ooh, I already know where this is going.
No, well, I'll tell you why. Because wearing a ring on a construction website is one of the most dangerous things that you can wear.
I mean, yeah.
Because if that ring gets caught up, have you ever seen somebody, they call it degloving?
Degloving, what is that?
It's where your ring gets caught on something and you basically pull all the meat, all the skin, and there's nothing but the bone exposed because the ring basically pulls.
So kind of like how I eat like chicken wings.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why, you see a lot of construction where they don't wear their wedding rings because it is a danger.
That's fucking you would think like everyone would be like extremely careful,
Accidents happen, man.
That happened to my dad once. He no, he didn't get degloved, but he worked at a factory for most of his life. And it's still case. It's they make office furniture kind of in the Midwest. Anyway, and it's like a little assembly line, and he just wasn't paying attention. And it was like a hot glue gun that just sprayed on his arm. Like, so he had like a long scar, maybe about 10 inches long, but it was terrible.
Dude,
and
I remember I was up 4 stories high welding, and a hot piece of metal fell into my boot. And there's nothing you could do about it because it's not like you can jump.
Yeah, what do? You
start.
Just sit there and scream?
No, you have to just write it out like you what in your pants. You just let it ride.
Is that like when like wax falls on your chest or something?
Yeah, dude. It hurts, dude. It hurts. But you just have to sit there and take it. And I remember one time I stuck a crescent wrench when we were setting a beam one time, and I put the crescent wrench in the hole to line up because you never wanted to. That's why the guy had missing fingers, because he got his fingers setting a beam on the clip.
I'm trying to picture
it. So you got 3 holes, and then you got a clip that's got 3 holes. And then you got to line up those things. And if you get your fingers in those holes, it's just going to take it off like it's nothing. So you use like a spud wrench or a bullpen to put it in there. And the guy on the other end was welding the beam, and the weld arc, the electricity arc on the wrench that I had on the hole, and I pulled it out, and It was like a lightning bolt. Like I was like the fucking Flash.
Did you feel
DC.
like in your entire body?
No, but I did almost hit my dad in the head with the crescent wrench when I threw it down, because that dude, like we would weld after like summer storms, and you would sit down on the beam and you would weld. You would get your taint electrocuted. Yeah,
dude, that's crazy. You ever hear those stories of people who actually get like hit by lightning bolts? Like, how fucked up that would be if you were just outside and next to, like, I wonder what that feels like. You just walking and then are you just immediately unconscious?
Well, I mean, I don't even know how people survive lightning bolt strikes, because they say lightning bolts are just as hot as the sun. so I don't even know how that even happens.
Just disappear. I feel like you would just disappear. Like it would be a bright.
It'd be like when Thor gets called back to what's his home planet? Asgard. Like, it's like you automatically get beamed up to Asgard or whatever. That's about it.
Tuddle? Oh, he went back home to Asgard.
Yeah. But the reason I'm asking though is, the reason I asked about the manual labor stuff is like, dude, what we're doing is not hard right now.
No,
I mean, it is hard.
I would say this. It's not.
So you didn't feel good because how much did you drink? Give me an idea, because you know that I used to be the biggest alcoholic. I want to see what.
A lot. Okay, so it was Friday, Saturday night, in St. Pete, and the other guys in the league they got a couple of years. I mean, a little older, so we weren't out like late, but we just went to a couple of tap houses. I had a couple of beers, a couple of old fashions. I had a it's called a absinthe, I think. You ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, the Green Fairy, the absinthe drink. You're supposed to. You're not getting real absinthe here in the United States.
But I don't even know what that is.
It's did they do it with the sugar cube?
Yeah, like she had this whole like device and everything, and it was melting.
Yeah, it's not real absinthe, because the absinthe that you get in Europe is supposed to make you actually trip. That's why they say that you're supposed to see the Green Fairy whenever you drink absinthe.
Yeah, but all the drugs I've done, man, what they say is never really what happens. Just like fairy tales. You have a little kick and then everything's back to normal. But yeah, so
it really doesn't seem like you really drink that much, man. Like, I mean, you kind of.
No, but I was like when I'm dehydrated, like I'm like clouded, like I'm mentally clouded. And if I can't like, I wouldn't say not think straight, but if I can't like, if I'm not like, mentally there, then it kind of like shows in my performance at the same time.
Do you know how many times when I was living at Bubba's race shop that I would drink a handle of the cheapest whiskey, rich and rare, out of a plastic bottle? I would wake up.
All I remember is you doing the seal noises. That was like one of my first days ever walking in. And you're like barking like a seal. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Think about that. Like, what job where you would already be? You've already done 10 shots of vodka before 10 a.m. Like, because there would be some mornings that I would have because Bubba would only throw me the little
the mini ones. Yeah,
the mini bottles if I had like a good joke and like I'd be having a really good show, and then I'd be like, the next thing I would know, I'd be like, oh man, I've already done 10 shots of vodka.
And it's 7 a.m.
Yeah, and then I would have to take another 30 milligram Adderall just to kick out of it. I mean, it's like a white trash speedball if I've ever seen one. You're taking a downer, and then you're basically upper downer. It's a wonder that my
and
heart,
then you crash, but then you'll crash like at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It's be like zombied out.
No, but like I would wake up in the mornings with the worst heartburn. Because I wouldn't eat. That was the other thing. Like, I wouldn't eat because I was like, oh, I want to save my calories for the liquor.
For the good shit.
Yeah. And to drink the cheapest rot gut whiskey on an empty stomach and then go to sleep. And then as soon as you sit up, it's like hot lava coming out of your throat. Like you're a fire-breathing dragon. And by the way, like, I used to eat Zantac like it was candy, but now...
What does Zantac do? That's a painkiller, right?
Well, no, Zantac is like an acid, but now I see all these commercials everywhere. It's like, if you are a taker of Zantac, you need to call this number for a class action lawsuit because the ingredients in Zantac is one of the leading causes of cancer.
And heartburn.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
Nice
you
to know
can't. You
that now.
can't. That lifestyle will kill you, man. I'm surprised you didn't have any like. So when I drink a lot and like consecutive days, at least, obviously I'm dehydrated. But I told you this before, but I'll get like night terrors sometimes. I'll be paralyzed
Dude.
as I'm sleeping.
And yeah, I've had night terrors before. You know
Outside.
why? You know what causes night terrors, right? Where you
Stress.
can't move. No.
Who's
Have
it?
you ever noticed in your dreams how like you can't run fast or you can't punch hard?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay. Well, that's because when you're sleeping, your body kind of throws on what you would call a parking brake. You see what I'm saying? So say you're having a dream where you're running or
Okay.
you're fighting something, your body puts on like a parking brake where you can't. Because like if you were dreaming, some people
Yeah, but you're still
sleepwalk
moving
and,
though.
and do yeah, but in your dreams, that's why you don't feel like you can ever run fast enough or punch hard enough because your body is in like shutdown mode.
Yeah, but I have some dreams like that, but then there's other dreams where I'm like moving normally, or probably even quicker. Like it's back and forth. But I thought it was due to stress. I used to have dreams of like flying all the time. Those were the best ones. But the funny part is,
Go ahead.
no, I said the funny part is I wouldn't like fly like a bird or a plane. You ever play Smash Brothers, the video game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would, the Jigglypuff, the Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
I would like
no,
float,
that's not a Pokemon.
or whatever
I don't
he
think
is.
Jigglypuff was a Pokemon. I know which one you're
Oh,
talking
Kirby, I
about.
mean Kirby.
It's
Kirby.
like
Excuse me.
Yeah, Kirby. Yeah, it's like a pink blob or something.
Yeah, so that's how I would fly in my dreams. I would just kind of keep floating and bouncing and get like lower and lower. It's weird as fuck, but
Have you ever had the dream where you fall when you hit the ground, like you're like you like jerk yourself awake?
Yeah. That's fucking. That's just so weird. Like how it's like you have like obviously a conscience and you have awareness, right? You know who you are. You can make your own decisions. But then it's like when you're sleeping or daydreaming or whatever it may be, like there's like another you that's like doing other shit at the same time.
Do you dream in color or black and white?
Color. But sometimes though it'll be like grade or like hard to get a good picture. I used to have times where like I'd have these dreams where like my eyes, it's a weird feeling. So when someone's in REM sleep or rapid eye movement.
Yeah, your eyes are your eyes are twitching underneath your eyelids.
Okay,
while
so
you're in REM sleep.
Have you ever seen like when a dog like is like sleeping or laying on its back and you can kind of watch it go to sleep and the eyes are kind of like going up into their head and they're kind of like bouncing. So I would have like dreams and I felt like that was happening because my entire vision in my dream was doing that. Like my eyes were in the back of my head bouncing up and down. And that shit would freak me the fuck out. Like I'd panic because I can't see anything. My eyes are moving and I can't wake up. So
there's also another thing I was reading about. Have you ever been like falling like right before you're about to fall asleep, you get so relaxed and then it feels like somebody like punches you in the face or you kind of like jerk.
I thought you were going to say like you feel yourself like getting paralyzed.
Yeah. But it feels like you get like a slap or something.
Yeah,
or
and it's
like
it's like you don't even
what that
remember.
is, right?
What is that?
Well, it's your body. Okay, so you get so relaxed, your
But that's
heart
from like
rate
sleep
gets
deprivation, though, right?
No, but what happens is that your heart rate gets so low, your breathing gets so shallow. It's like your body like uses its self defibrillator, like the paddle. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because your brain is like, all right, heart rate's getting a little too low, breathing's getting a little too shallow. We need to wake this mother effer up with the paddles.
Do you also think that happens like more often the older we're getting? Like it's our body like kind of slowly like fucking up or having errors really quick.
Well, sleep apnea. People don't take sleep apnea as serious as it is.
The snoring, right?
Yeah, because I don't know if I told you this. When I took my friend Addie down to her uncle's funeral, we all like slept in one room, like her cousins were there, and her cousin had a really, really bad leg. Like he would snore really hardcore, and then
like you had to get up and like fight him.
No, it would be really, really, really fast, and then it would start slowing down, and then it would be like a 2-second pause, and he would start snoring again, and then it would be like a 4-second pause.
Was
and
it
then
loud?
It would get so to the point. Yeah, it was, but then because like my OCDs, I started counting the rhythms, and then when he would get to a point, I counted one time where he stopped breathing for like 25 to 30 seconds, and I was like, if this guy does not start breathing in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to wake him up, because I'm serious. It was just like a snore, 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 and then it just was
quiet.
Nothing.
I know, and then it's
and that's him. That's him dying. That's him for 30 seconds, not breathing.
Yeah, but you also have like that quick 5 seconds of relief when you think he stops snoring, but turns out he's actually suffocated. You know who else snores?
Yeah, who?
You already know.
You?
No, not me.
Who?
My girl.
Your chick?
Yeah, not like all the
Really?
Oh man, not all the time, but I don't know if she can hear me. I'm trying to be quiet.
Is it
night?
Is it a noise, no snoring, or mouth snoring? like is her mouth wide open? Because
it's more nose.
Yeah.
But
she got. I'm not trying to be mean, but does she got a big nose, small nose?
I think she got a big nose.
Okay.
Well, not
See, I'm putting you on the spot.
Let me delete that, please.
Putting that on there.
No, I mean she has a normal sized nose. It's not small.
Because I follow her on Instagram, and I'm gonna send her this clip.
No, please don't.
Serak said you got a big ass nose.
I can't. The past 2 days, man, I just can't get any decent sleep. I'm a very sensitive sleeper.
Have you ever thought about sleeping in separate beds, though?
I mean, I'm not against it, but
no, because everybody thought it was weird, because me when I was married at the time, we worked separate hours, and I would get up at a certain time and she would get up at a certain time. And it only made sense because I got up 4 or 5 hours before her. You see what I'm saying?
Right. No need to wake her up.
It made sense. Yeah. It just makes sense because I would go to bed earlier than her.
Yeah, but you guys, what about the weekends though? What about days you guys both had off?
Oh yeah, we would sleep in the same bed then. Yeah.
I think that works both ways. I think if you don't sleep in the same bed all the time, then it's, I don't know, more.
Now, is your chick a cover hog or a bed hog?
Yep,
will she
both.
come onto your space?
It doesn't matter how big the bed is. I get maybe 6 inches of space in diameter that I can move before I'm being pushed off the side. But lately, the couch has been comfy. So
see, that's also the other thing. I hate couples that want to take showers together. It just does not make sense.
Yeah, that's just such a waste.
Because somebody's always standing in the corner,
just cold and naked. Yeah, just standing there.
Yeah, just waiting for their chance. And
then you get a little bit of of the water splashed on you here and there.
Yeah, it's just and then you get to see your chick, and then when she's all wet and soapy and stuff, you automatically as a man, you're like, all right, you want to get down. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be late for work again.
Yeah. And everybody says, "Oh man, I want to have sex in a hot tub or a pool." It just does not work out.
No, whoever says that never has it.
Yeah, it does not work out. Certain lubrications. Yeah, no, it is. It's not feasible.
It literally makes everything worse. Man. I did it one time, and oh man, yeah, never again.
Now you got to remember, I'm also monetized now, so we can't get as graphic as we. Have you ever had sex during somebody's monthly visitor?
Nah, man. I got a buddy who, I don't say he likes that, but he's done it plenty of times.
I've done it, but it was in the shower, and it really freaked me out because it reminded me of the movie Psycho with the blood going down the drain and stuff. I was just like, yeah, no, this ain't for me.
Yeah, man, and you can always, I don't know, man, you get to smell the blood, and it just throws me off.
You get that copper,
that
smell.
that penny taste, and it's dark, and you don't even know. Somebody gets stabbed. It could be a third person in there. You never know.
I mean, at least she can't get. I don't know. I don't think a chick can get pregnant when she's on her cycle, right?
I don't think so.
Not unless there's a egg hiding around the other fallopian tube
under the bed. Just
there's an egg right around the corner on the fallopian tube.
Are they gone yet?
Yes.
Come on in. I got room for
trick.
one. One.
We're throwing out the red tide decoy. He thinks it's done.
I can't see blood on my face. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just trying to picture that scene. That could be a South Park episode. I'd watch that.
All right, Serak, tell people how they can check out what's the latest episode about. Oh, yes. Before you go, like, I want somebody in the worst way, like, to absolutely destroy the Logan brothers.
Oh my God! Did you watch that last night?
I really do think that they pay these people off. Like,
they do.
I like, yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, but like, even though a lot of people don't like the Paul brothers,
I hate them.
You gotta respect them. They're so smart. You know how much money Jake Paul made off that fight last night, and Tyrone Woodley. They were saying that he actually, I don't know if this is true or not, but that he took a smaller purse for the fight to give. Okay, I won't tell you.
I don't want to know, because you know how hard I actually work to be creative and be funny and do what I love doing. And these guys probably have all the writers in the world. They got all the editors.
No,
in the world.
Logan Paul was like self-made from Vine, wasn't he?
He was, but like, he does things like, okay, don't try to be a shock jock YouTuber. Mm-hmm. You remember when he went to that Japanese suicide forest?
Yeah, he got that shit for that.
Yeah, and then he comes out and he's crying all these tears. He was like, "Oh, I was just so insensitive." No, man, like, be a man. Admit to what you were doing. You did it to shock people, and that was about it.
Right. But I mean,
and let's be honest. If Mayweather wanted to, he would have killed Logan Paul. Like,
but that's not in the contract. Like, they're just doing, like, if you notice, they're picking besides
then
Mayweather.
It's pro wrestling. It's pro wrestling then.
Okay, but people are not going to pay pay-per-view on Showtime for, a WWE event unless it's WrestleMania.
I would love for, like, one of these big name, like,
I know
really badass guys that says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna, like, I'll, this is an exhibition. I'm not gonna knock you out. We'll make it a good fight." And then just once the bell rings, he just comes out and just takes him down in one fight. Do you remember that movie, The Great White Hype? It was
Damon Wayans, right?
Jackson. Yeah, and he was not taking it serious at all. He was like big and fat, and then this white guy thought, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that," And then he came out, he got a couple of good punches in, and he just was like, "All right, I'm done with this."
Damon Williams wanted to challenge Dave Chappelle to one of those. I know you've heard about those verses.
Yeah, Chappelle would murder him.
What? No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think you underestimate the power of the Wayans family. I think he's funnier.
What, all the hanger-on brothers that he has and all
From
that
stuff?
Living
Color.
Oh, dude, listen, don't even
Major
talk.
Pain.
I grew up in the heyday of In Living Color. Like, I watched all the episodes. Like, so, like, don't even, like, try to explain to me. But Chappelle is just on a different level.
Yeah, now, but I don't think, like, I don't even know how that would work. Like, how would you do? Would it be like a roast?
Well, it would be like an 8 Mile battle rap.
Oh, so versus is just rapping? I thought it could be anything.
Well, I think if they're just gonna, like,
it'd be weird if they started, if Damon Wayans and Dave Chappelle had a rap battle.
No, not like a rap battle, but kind of like a roast. Like, or do they? You get 5 minutes. Are we giving you a topic? Are you freestyling? Do they know what's coming up? Like,
that'd be a good, like, show concept, right? Where you have, like, all these comedians. Besides, I know they have the roast, but, like, it'll be like a 1-on-1, 5 minutes.
And you get a topic. You don't know what the topic's going to be, and then you just have to riff
off the
and
top of the
whoever
head.
The funniest. Yeah.
Do you think some people are
think
just naturally comics? You know what I mean? Like, do you think Kevin Hart, for instance, right? He's probably the biggest comedian we've ever seen, right? Do you think like
I think Kevin Hart would be great at it because I've seen him go like on talk shows and stuff, and him just like off the cuff come up with stuff. You could tell when stuff is off the cuff.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart is really, really good at that.
But do you think he's trying to be funny or he's just naturally funny?
I think he's just naturally funny, and I think him and The Rock are like one of the best comedic duos, in my opinion. And The Rock's not a funny guy, but what I'm saying, like back in the day, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder were like the comedy duo that everybody loved. You had the nerdy, awkward white guy, and
maybe that's
what
we should be for Halloween.
We could do that. I mean, we could definitely do that. But are you going to be burned up, Richard Pryor, like when he was freebasing?
Hold on, I gotta see the movie first. Let me see here. Let me try to find some pics.
Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder did a couple of movies together.
What's the best one?
No Evil. Richard Pryor was blind and Gene Wilder was deaf in the movie. And then there was another one where they went to jail, the both of them together.
Stir Crazy?
Yeah, Stir Crazy.
And then we have Silver Streak.
Yep, another great movie.
Dude, we can be See No Evil, Hear No Evil. I can put that little outfit together.
But I don't have the fro like Gene Wilder had.
Yeah, we'll get you a wig. We'll get you a wig. I think I have some pants like that. What? Everybody would know who we are. I'm just kidding. Like, is that Bill Cosby?
Yeah, Gene Wilder was one of his. Well, Richard Pryor was not in it. He was supposed to be in it, but I think he was one of the producers. Blazing Saddles. I would love to see your review of Blazing Saddles.
Listen, I would dress up as Richard Pryor in Hear No Evil, See No Evil, and Blazing Saddles. I'll let you choose. I'll wear that that'll be my this year's Halloween costume.
Cleavon Little was the smoothest brother back in the day, and for him to be in that movie took a lot of balls.
Cleavon Little?
Yeah, Cleavon Little. He had this line in it. Everybody uses it because they were going to these it was one of the most racist movies that you're ever going to see, but it was done by Mel Brooks.
Birth of a Nation.
Anyways, Gene Wilder, they're trying to sneak into this thing, and then Gene Wilder comes out and was like, I got the black guy, and Cleavon Little goes, where the white women at?
That's fucked up.
And this was, I think, in the late 70s, and it was. And then one of the greatest lines, well, I mean, it was the most offensive line in the whole time. They were building the railroad, and they ran into quicksand where the railroad was supposed to be, and the white leader manager was like, send a couple of horses down there, and he was like, and then the boss was like, you idiot, why would you send 2 horses down there? Send 2 African Americans, but he didn't say African Americans, if you know what I mean. You know, he was like, why would you waste 2 horses when you could send 2 African Americans down there?
Kind of like Django.
Yeah. But but they went after everybody. Like during the middle of the movie, they get into a big fight, and then they're like in a movie studio, and then they get into a fight with a bunch of homosexuals that are doing this.
Wait, so is this supposed to be like a
number? It's a slapstick comedy type thing,
kind of like Scary Movie.
Yeah. But it's really, really, and they made Cleavon Little the sheriff of the town. And they didn't know. Everybody goes to meet the new sheriff, and they were like, he's because they all thought the sheriff was going to be a white guy.
I wonder what the reviews were for this movie was when it hit theaters.
I mean, they say it's one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Of course it is.
You could never do that movie today.
I like how that's the greatest comedy, and then the greatest movie is that Birth of a Nation movie.
Or Roots. I mean, Roots, or like, everybody loved Roots. Was like a phenomenon back in the day when that came out.
It's tough watching movies when you're black, especially it's never like we're never in good positions. Did you ever watch
the one that Denzel won his first Oscar for? I forget.
Was he the like the general or something? Not the general.
Well, John, no, the guy that played Ferris Bueller in the movies. Man, I forget his name now. Ah, shit. What the hell was that name? I forget. Anyways, it was about the first, and it's a real story about the first all black platoon that fought for the North against the South.
I think I have it here. It was damn, I know what you're talking about too. With was this was like back in 2002, right? When this movie come out? No, 1990.
Yeah, 1990. Denzel was there, and then it had Morgan Freeman was in it. But it was an all-black platoon, and they were all one to fight, but they wouldn't let the black platoon fight, and then they finally did, and pretty much all of them died.
It was. Oh no! He actually won an Oscar for Training Day. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he did, and that movie, he did way better movies than that. I think they gave him that. Training Day was a great movie, but like it wasn't his best.
No, I'd say his best was probably,
Philadelphia, best acting movie with him and Tom Hanks together.
Yeah, when we had not cancer, we had AIDS, right?
AIDS, yeah.
I'm trying to find it. Why but these new movies he has, like the Equalizers and shit. Like I'm kind of sick of these old like.
It's just Denzel killing people saying clever things while doing it.
I'm talking Sylvester Stallone, Arnold, all these old, movie heroes that used to be jacked and can do it all are still trying to play those same roles, and they're like 60.
Yeah, like Harrison Ford, they're doing another Indiana Jones movie.
Why?
I don't know how they're pulling that off.
Yeah, but like, hopefully he just has like a quick like part in the movie, but then it's maybe his son or whatever.
Oh, I do. We do have to wrap this up. But did you see the new Spider-Man
trailer?
Trailer.
No, I have not. Is it good?
Oh, it's so good.
I'm not. You're gonna have. I hate his abilities.
You're gonna have all three.
I think he's the weakest one.
You're gonna have all three Spider-Men in one movie.
I thought it was only one Spider-Man.
Well, I guess you didn't watch Loki then, did you?
Oh, with the variant shit. Well, how's that so they're gonna tie that into?
Good. It's a multiverse.
Oh my!
They've always had a multiverse in the Marvel comics.
I immediately picture that meme with three Spider-Mans pointing at each other.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the big joke, but all three actors that have played Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland.
Tom Holland's hands down the best one.
Yeah, he is. But Tobey Maguire was, if it wasn't for Tobey Maguire playing Spider-Man, you would never have the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You think? You really think so?
Yeah, that was one of the first big, I think the opening weekend for Spider-Man 1 was like 125 million, and that was like 2000.
Wait, when did Iron Man come out? Afterwards?
Iron Man was 2009. That set up the whole MCU.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I guess that makes sense then.
Yeah, but also this is the last Spider-Man movie a part of the MCU because Sony's taken back the property.
So what does that mean? That they're gonna only be able to make Spider-Man movies?
No, yeah, Sony owns it's a really mess. I don't know. I've never fully understood it. Like if it's a Marvel character, how does Sony own it? Just like you'll never see another solo Hulk movie because they can't do it. They don't own the full outright.
Who owns it?
I don't know, but like Sony owns that. They own Venom. They also own Morbius.
But why would they just you would think, one of the studios would just pay the other one off for the rights.
Well, Disney has more money than what they know what to do with. I don't understand. Anyways, dude, I need to wrap this up because this show is going to be about 2 hours long.
Oh, my
for
bad.
today. I appreciate it. Tell people how they can check out your podcast.
Of course, that's the Weekly Review. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast as well, or Spotify. YouTube, Facebook, just type in the Weekly Review, or you just type in my name, Serak, which is
just like the liquor.
I know you messed me up, but it's Serak. I know, unfortunately, not spelled like liquor, but I promise you, I taste better anyway. Wow, I got dry mouth like a mother.
Yeah, because you're hungover, you're getting older. You're getting older, and you can't recover as quickly as you used to.
No, I went off the deep end.
You're going to have to eventually, at some point, you're going to have to make a decision.
Actually, okay, I'll tell you what. As of today, was it August 30th, pretty much September. All right, whole month September, not a drink.
At the end of the year, you always start out the year 6 months of sobriety, right?
I know, and I think that's what I'm having trouble now. I'm trying to fight it, but then I feel like my natural clock knows better, you know?
Why can't you just spread it out? Like, just have drinks on the weekends or something?
Because I'm like, I'm telling you, I am
you're like me to excess. If one feels good, two's going to feel even better.
It's
if
a streak.
Feels good,
it's all about streaks.
4 is going to feel even better. And if 4 feels better, it's going to be 8.
Exactly. That's why I don't even like when I go to bars, I try to order like something really strong to where I don't like drink it too fast. Is that bad?
The one time I met Hogan, and I do really have to go after this. He would take a perk. He would take a perk, but he would chew it up before he swallowed it, and he would always. Bubba said this. He would be like, "No waiting on the runway, brother."
What does that mean?
Which means, the pill gets in your stomach. You got to wait for it to dissolve and get into your stomach. So he would chew them before it would swallow.
No waiting on the runway. You might as well just sniff them.
Yeah, so that's what he meant by no waiting on the runway, brother.
So he calls his tug the runway.
Yeah. He said, no waiting on the runway, brother. I'm chewing it up and it's going right in.
Oh, that's great. I like that.
Anyways, I hope you have a great night, Serak, and I'll talk to you later, okay?
All right, buddy. Peace out.
And that's the show for today. Thanks for listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Hey, don't be a dickhead. Do us a favor. Like, share, and subscribe to the show. Also, check out the Tuddle category at 315live.com. The Tuddle Daily Podcast is brought to you by Starfire Transport, StitchYouUp.com, and PocketPairClub.com. Special thanks to show producer Vulture and co-host Serak. Show voiceover service is brought to you by JCVoiceover.com and The Little Cheese Show. Download and subscribe to The Little Cheese Show everywhere podcasts are found. If you want to help support the show, go to paypal.me/TuddleOnTheRadio. You have something you want to say? Tuddle@gmail.com or leave a voicemail at 407-270-3044. To follow all Tuddle social media, go to Tuddle.net. That's Tuddle with 2 Ds.net. Thanks again for all your support, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
I get ignorant in normal situations.
What you mean?
What the fuck you mean?
What are you talking about?
Nigga, what the fuck is you talking about?
Oh, shit!